there is actually a conflict about a piece of land.
There has been continuous showering of Qassam missiles. Even when we give back land, we don't get peace.
We don't know the cultures, so we're afraid, we hate.
Who owned the land 1,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago? At what point is it the ultimate ownership?
I think that is the way to deal with prisoners and to see that not all the Jewish terrorists, not all the Arabs are terrorists.
I proposed this project to my sponsor in the Rotary Club of Newbury Park, which was Ron Block. Probably 2 or 3 months after I joined the club, I said, what do you think about it? Do you think that the club would be open to sponsor or organize such a project? And he said, I believe so. Why don't you write a letter?
He suggested that we would bring over a number of Arab and Jewish young adults and put them into an operation or a classroom style, which would help prepare them in peace and conflict resolution.
I was chosen by my Rotary Club and with the cooperation of Beta Geffen to create a group of students that take part in the Triumph, a project that initiated by the Rotary Club of Newbury Park.
I was not only afraid for Israel, I was afraid for here as well, because we are Rotarians. I practice acupuncture, the rest of my club does professional things as well. We don't teach personal growth, we don't teach conflict resolution.
Francis and I want to uncover purpose and passion in everybody in our lives. We work in the business environment, and we've been doing this for 15 years with CEOs, executive teams, and employees all across the world.
Our ultimate goal with this project is to create a society and leaders in this society who can change the world, in their lifetime.
I can speak as a Jewish person, we always learn about the Holocaust and how they made all those stamps about all the Jews based on little examples. And basically when I see what's happening now, we make the same stamps. We do like, Arabs are all terrorists.
I see every day Jews, but I don't talk with them. I don't have any relation with them. I don't what they think of me, what I think of them. I want to change this thing.
Okay, the type of courses that Francis and I put them through had 3 main bodies. The first piece was to know thyself.
If I'm afraid of you, will I talk to you? No. Probably not, okay? If I'm afraid of you, will I say nice things about you? Probably not, which just perpetuates this limiting belief conversation. This is interesting. Jews are fanatical racists and don't want to live with Arabs in this country. Is that true? No. Are you ready to let go of your limiting beliefs?
I find it so hard to sit there and learn this subject. It's really hard to think about it. Things that happened with you in the past and things that you like in yourself that you didn't like.
I think Tom and Francis is the one of the greatest person I ever met. They learn us everything about ourselves.
The second piece was to understand humanity and master relationships.
Hey, is everybody up here? Yeah. Okay, from this moment forward, nobody's gonna talk anymore. No more talking. You guys are gonna get hyper, shortest to tallest. If it's clear, don't make a thumbs up. Clear. Good. One person is gonna go through at a time, and everybody on this team should know.
Good morning. Governor Larry, First Lady, Dr. Garbis, fellow Rotarians, young Rotarians, my wife and I are honored to be in your presence today, in the presence of great peacemakers in our country and across the world. And I want to thank my wife for being next to me, and she's for being Rotarian and travel all over. Today I would like to share with you how peace was lost and what Rotarian and peace partners are doing to establish peace in the Middle East. Before I start, I would like to define the region I'll be concentrating my discussion with you on today. The Middle East is a region that roughly encompasses majority of Western Asia and Egypt. It's not only a geographical region, but a cultural, political center as well. Prior to the discovery of oil, the region had been hotbed for religious conflict and wars over other rich resources in the region. In more recent times, interest in the region has been due to energy sources. The Middle East is the most militarized zone in the world, and most arms dealers are found right there. A suppressed people that sees outside influence as a major root cause of the current problem in the Middle East that has led to the rise of Islamic militancy, acts of terrorism, and anti-West sentiment. The difficulty in addressing the situation is due to the fact that there seems to be greater conflict that overcomes the boundaries of the individual states, creating instability in the entire region. You all have, in the past few years, saw the movement that caused the Arab Spring. At the time, the optimism emanating from the non-violence overthrow of regimes across the Middle East and North Africa, known as the MENA region, has given way to increasing instability and seemingly lots of conflicts in the region. Each day, the news is filled with stories of violence, devastation, giving an impression of little hope and even less peace. Syria's current civil war and tension and its threat to spark another conflict within and between communities in the region, and especially in neighboring Lebanon. Reignited violence in Egypt, Libya, Bahrain, and others reinforces the interconnection nature of the region and thus serves to highlight the importance of the regional action to promote peace. Besides, the constant unrest between Israel and the Palestinians that have poised the region and led to the birth of different organizations that has established in the region, which has spread to other neighboring countries. The war in Iraq and neighboring countries have also affected the region and the stability of the governments. So the Rotarians and their partners ask themselves, how could we win peace again? Let me take you on a tour of the different programs of our Rotary Foundation and also the work of all the Rotarians in the region. Alexander Dowley, who is a Rotary Global Scholar, wrote her story about the refugee kids from Syria. A refugee child from Iraq draws a picture of himself as a doctor. Another child uses colorful paint to depict happy memories of his life in Iraq. Both children are among 500,000 people that has displaced from Iraq and now live in Jordan, a country that has become a safe haven for war in the neighboring Palestinian, Syria, and Iraq. Alexander Dowry, a former volunteer with the Collateral Repair Project in Jordan, emphasizes how something as simple as art project can help youth refugees adjust to their new lives in a foreign country. With the support of Rotary clubs across Vancouver Island in British Columbia, Canada, and the help of teenage refugee volunteers in Jordan, Downey implemented a children's art program to give refugee children a creative outlet for their dreams and ambition. I'm not a certified therapist, she says, but I recognize art as the way to make healing and life skillful development accessible and fun for kids. Dowley, a Rotary Global Grand Scholar from Nanaimo, Vancouver Island, Canada, recently received a master's degree in social development from the University of Sussex in Britain, England. Her 3 months of volunteer work in Amman, Jordan in 2014 counted towards her graduate degree. Dowley says the art program not only helped kids to be kids, but also enabled the teenagers who helped me implement the classes, giving them the chance to develop and practice their leadership skills. These teenagers generously care about their communities and develop important mentorship roles with children who need it the most, she says. Dowley traces her interest in helping refugees in her time as a Rotary Youth Exchange, and I met some today in Budapest, Hungary. While there, she volunteered as a local orphanage using art and drama to connect with children. The Youth Exchange program sparked my interest in global issues and shifted my life trajectory, she says. Much of our world in conflict. Many of international communities are displaced and people need policy that allows them to voice their needs and search their potential. Dowley says, this is what drives me, and this is what I will work for. As we can see, that programs like Peace, like the program that we just saw, like Dowley, Youth Exchange, vocational training teams, has served as a peace solution that stems from basic necessity in life of the others and addresses the needs of their community. I'll be moving you right now to Lebanon, where I come from. So, growing up in civil war, it's just ways of living. As kids, 14, 15 years old, we just go to school in the morning. Actually, I take my goats to the field and bring them back. I go to school till 4 o'clock. I come back, have dinner, connect with my friends, carry my AK-47, and head to the woods around the village so we can protect our village from invaders. And that's our job as children. See, I lost one brother who died right in front of the house from a bomb. I'm one of the fortunate ones because my mother decided that unless she takes me out of that conflict, I'll be dead. So she borrowed money on the house. And she said, you're going to another country to get education and maybe you'll be safe. And I did. And I heard afterwards that many of my friends that I grew up with, they've lost their life, or they don't have a life. And one day, after I graduated.